Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Decision Day stream. I'm your host, Will, aka MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're back, second part of the day after an exciting Eastern Conference Decision Day stream, which was very exciting. A lot of good stuff happened. Inter Miami break the MLS points record with 74 points. 73 was the record by the New England Revolution. DC United failed to qualify for the MLS playoffs. Montreal make it. Atlanta United sneak in. We're here to see what happens with the. We were here to see what happens with the Western Conference with the seeding. There's going to be battle of positions for the seeds, and the biggest thing at stake tonight is, will the LA Galaxy or LAFC finish at the top of the standings for the Western Conference? Favi, I did send you a link. I DM'd it to you. I sent it to you on. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I think I did send you the wrong link. I think I sent you the one before. Give me 1 second, people. We're gonna get Fabian Rankel in here, good friend of the show. Get his perspective on what is going on with Major League Soccer today on Decision Day. Crazy, crazy day. Crazy, crazy day. It looks like Marco Royce will be playing. We got Joe Ryan Salazar saying, good evening, LA Galaxy have best in the West to play for. Yes, they do. David the Yapper from the previous stream, appreciate you stopping by for the second stream of the day. Hey, how's it going? Fabian Rankel, good friend of the show, will be stopping by soon. And another good friend of mine, Nick, will be stopping by. David the Yapper says Royce is playing. That is a big boost for the Galaxy tonight. He said, let's go. 19 people strong in the chat. Make sure you like it down below. Subscribe to the channel. Less than 700 away from 5K. I think we can do it. So make sure you share the channel with a friend. Make sure you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Let's hit 5,000 before the end of the MLS season. I think we can, and we will do it. Fabian Rankel, what is up, my friend? How's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Thank you for having me on.
Dude, anytime, man, anytime. Appreciate you stopping by. So what is it's It's been a crazy day so far, bro.
Yeah, good thing I didn't vote for my MVP already because I would have.
Hey, you better wrote that in pencil, dude, so you can erase that.
Exactly. I mean, what a performance by Messi. And newcomer of the year, I think, is going to go to Suarez after that 4-goal contribution performance.
I think so too. Now I voted. I didn't actually vote, but my vote would have went for Gabriel Peck. But Suarez, man. And here's another thing, Favi. I asked this question on Twitter. Has there ever been 2 players on one team score 20 goals in a season?
Oh, yeah, that is not that I remember. I mean, I always remember that the Golden Boot guys were always like one, and they were way off, right? I think the Quakes got close with like Wondolowski and Lenhart and Alan Gordon, but I think they had 10, not 20. Let me double check that though. With their supporter shield winning years, it's been a long time.
Yeah, well, and also too, like, I mean, think about that. Most teams are lucky to have one goal scorer have 20 goals in a season for them, right? There was only 3 people, or I guess there's 4 people now that have 20 goals this season, and 2 of them play for Inter Miami.
Right, which is kind of was very wild.
Yeah, and also too, you know, a lot of people were saying that Luis Suarez might be washed, or you know that he might not. His knees are bad. He can't do it. He can't last the full season. He's gonna limp through the final of the the MLS season, and that's just not true, man. I mean, he was good this year. He was honestly their MVP until Messi overtook it last second, right? I mean, he kind of ran away with it, but right. I mean, this has been an incredible season for Miami, and we got to witness history, man. We get to witness 2 goal scorers of 20 goals, and also witness Inter Miami break that points record.
Yeah, another thing about this Western Conference Decision Day is Carlos Vela is back. I don't know if you saw that.
Carlos Vela is on the bench tonight for LAFC. That is going to be interesting to see if the LAFC legend, the LAFC GOAT, makes his return tonight for LAFC. I would assume that he probably will play some minutes tonight, just because, you know, he wouldn't be on the bench if they didn't have some intentions of him playing. But right. I don't know how much he's going to play tonight. It'll be interesting to see. And Favi, I don't know if we addressed this. Sorry, a lot of moving parts tonight, man. Head spinning, right? LAFC and LA Galaxy are battling for this first place position, man. If LA Galaxy lose tonight and LAFC win with a certain goal difference, they're going to be the 1 seed in the West.
And Houston's fighting for a position as well, so they're not going to just turn over easy to the Galaxy. So, and it's in Houston, right? So it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's going to be a hard fought game. And I think LAFC plays. I mean, I'll just pull it up real quick. LAFC is playing San Jose, the worst team in the league, right? The Wooden Spoon winners of 2024. Your backyard team.
We are on the brink of having the worst season of all time as an MLS club with the most goals scored on us. So fun times for San Jose in the Bay Area.
It should be a relatively easy finale for LAFC. You know, they'll probably take care of business. The question is the Galaxy going to take care of business to make sure LAFC doesn't pass them up? That would be honestly very disappointing to go undefeated at home and still somehow not finish at the top of the Western Conference, man. That would be devastating.
So Benteke didn't score, right? So can Bouanga get 4?
No. No.
Hey, it's the Quakes, man. It could be 6-0.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but here's the thing. I don't even know if Bouanga will play long enough to score 4 goals, because Vela will probably come on for him at some point in the game. Let's see. Tati Abril says the GOAT has spoken.
No.
I mean, Mr. A friend of the show said, loyal listener of the show said, serious question. Would you be surprised if Messi made the 2026 World Cup? I think he might, just for fun. I'll let you go ahead and answer that first.
Yeah, I think Messi's going to be on the World Cup roster. I mean, at least as a sub, right? We haven't seen him in that role yet. He doesn't look like he's slowing down at all. He just came off the bench and was the first MLS player to ever score a hat trick and have an assist off the bench. So it's interesting to see. But yeah, I think Messi will be there in 2026, at least off the bench.
I think he's going to start for Argentina in 2026. I think he's still the best player in the world, man. Like you said, how many players come off the bench and score a hat trick and assist off the bench? And here's the thing, Favi, not just off the bench at halftime. He came in with 30 minutes left to play, dude. Like, it wasn't even like he came off, he had 45, he had 30. So I think he's going to start. And the reason why he's going to start is because he's still the best player in the world. And on top of that, he's going there. The World Cup is in the United States. They're going to advertise him everywhere. He's going to be the focal point of the World Cup pitch in 2024 or 2026, excuse me. So yes, Mr. Messi will start. He will play for Argentina in the World Cup in 2026. And here's another prediction. Messi will sign an extension with Inter Miami that gets him through 2026, I believe. I don't think he's going to retire until probably 2027. I think he hangs it up at 40. He's seen that old man in Saudi Arabia still playing, and he said, I got a couple left in me, man. He said, I got a couple left in me. I ain't going anywhere. I'm seeing it through.
Look, and then another kind of Inter Miami news. I don't know if you were watching the whole presentation for the Supporters Shield, but Jorge Mas was grabbing Suarez, and if anybody's good at lip reading, was saying you're playing another year, right? So that was interesting to watch. Imagine those 220 goal scorers, and they missed games for literally Copa America, both of them, right? And international break. So it's just like it's such a wild ride that this Inter Miami team is on, and now we can say it with a full chest that this is the best MLS team of all time, and we all knew that. Now, can they finish it off and win the MLS Cup? That's the question. But the way they played today, man, I don't see anybody beating them in a full 90 minutes. And especially in 2 out of 3, I think if you're an Atlanta fan or if you're a Montreal fan, you're hoping to win that play-in round so you can have Messi at home. That's really what you're doing, because you're not going to beat this team in a 2-game or a 3-game series. That's just not going to happen.
Well, not only that, Fabi, but like you just brought up a good point about Inter Miami missing these key players. Messi played 19 games this year. He only started 16 matches. He had 20 goals. So what people need to put this in perspective. Fabi and I just did some research a few minutes ago. No player, to our knowledge, no team has ever had 20 plus goal scorers on a team in one season. These dudes had 2, and one of them missed 18 games, or actually, 15 games this year, and the other missed 10.
Yeah.
So that's absurd, right? Hell, they probably would have scored 30 each if they played all 34, just to keep it real. They probably would have, honestly.
Yeah,
Messi might have scored 40. But yeah, so we're watching history. Like, and some people are saying, oh, Will, you're glazing Miami. Dude, I covered the league. Of course, I'm going to talk about history being made. I don't have a team.
I had Messi fans coming after me after I posted that Cucho Hernandez stat, but I was like, hey, I got to give credit when credit's due. Messi went out there the last game. I mean, if you're voting for MLS MVP and you put it in before this last game, shame on you. You should not vote until all the games are done, because Messi just went nuclear this game. Like, I've never seen someone have such a dominant performance with his first touch of the ball. Literally his first touch was a secondary assist to Jordi Alba. Hey, and Jordi Alba got 2 more assists. Look, Defender of the Year.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I voted for. 2 more assists. So 14 assists, 4 goals for Jordi Alba.
Right.
I think that's an incredible season. I think Jordi Alba definitely you change, man. How many markings are you crossing off your ballot? I mean, it seems like you're going to be you're changing a lot of things, huh?
Honestly, Will, you're the one that's put me on that Jordi Alba for Defender of the Year, because it's true. If he is a defender, what is he supposed to win, right? So it sucks because he goes up against a whole bunch of center backs, but man, that's a dominant performance from an outside back. 4 goals and 14 assists in an MLS season. That's insane from an outside back, right? So I think that might be the most assists from an outside back ever. I have to look into it, but if that's the case, he definitely deserves some MLS Defender of the Year votes. That's for sure.
I mean, 14 assists for your number 10 is a good season, man.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, that has to be the most assists on the year or in history for an outside back. 100%.
Yeah. I think Jordi Alba definitely deserves his flowers, because like we said, it's not saying who was the best at defending. It says who was the best defender. So obviously there's more to it than just actual marking your man. It's what they do on the team. And he's an assist machine. He set this team up. He's a big reason why they're so effective, especially down the flank and his crosses and everything he does. I think I'm on the Jordi Alba player of the year or defender of the year train. And I think, like you said, you're on it too. Now, did Tata Martino seal up his coach of the year award tonight after breaking this record?
I think he had it sealed before. I think once he won the Supporters Shield, I think he deserved, especially without having Messi and Suarez missing games. I think he wrapped that up. Going down without Farias early in season 2, I think if there was a GM of the year award, that has to go to Henderson, right? I mean, that's another one too. This Miami team was perfectly kind of built in a way that you can make the most out of the MLS roster rules, and you can still be the best team of all time, right? So it's kind of wild. That back line changed like every single game too, and they still found ways to win. 100% Tata Martino owns or deserves the coach of the year. Yes, given Wilfred Nancy is the best coach in MLS, I'll give him that. But I think this MLS season, Tata Martino definitely deserves the award.
Yeah, and also too the job he did when he was missing all those players during the Copa America run. He won like 6 or 7 out of 8 games. So I think he deserves a lot of flowers for that, and I think he's a very good coach, and he doesn't get enough credit for what the job he's been able to do, and not only on the pitch, Favi, but just being a manager of all these egos, right? All these world class players. A lot of coaches in MLS, for more specifically, would be starstruck or maybe afraid or timid to say certain things to these players because they don't want to step on any toes. But Tata Martino has seen a lot. He's coached a lot. I think he is a very effective. He's a very effective manager of a team like this. So I think he deserves a lot of flowers and a lot of credit for what he's done.
So let me bring this stat up. Actually, I just brought up the most assists in an MLS season. Yeah, number one is Carlos Valderrama with 26. Unreal season, unreal. Legend of the game, of course, he gets that one. But the second kind of biggest MLS season with assists goes to Sasha Kljestan and Maxi Morales with 20. And those are both 10s, right? Jordi Alba literally got 14 as an outside back. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, it is, and that's why he deserves to be defender of the year. I don't know if we will ever see something like that again, where a player gets that kind of assist at the defensive position. So, I mean, it's a big deal, man. That is a big deal, and
100%.
I can't. I think Jordi Alba is a steal at $1.5 million he's making.
Listen to this. MVP season for Lucho Acosta. Guess how many assists he had?
19, right?
For his MVP season, Lucho Acosta had 14 assists.
Okay, you're talking about. Are you talking about the hockey assists? Are you including that? Are you not?
I'm including that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Yeah, so
Wild.
I mean, at the bare minimum, right? At the bare minimum, Jordi Alba's a best 11 player. He's the
100%.
best 11, right? He's the best 11 at the bare minimum. So now I do think Moreira definitely deserves some love with Columbus, and maybe in any other year he would be the runaway defender of the year. But man, when Jordi Alba's putting up stats like that, you just cannot ignore it. You cannot ignore it.
Here it is. Kai Wagner had 15 2 years ago. So
wow.
Yeah, Kai Wagner, you had a season.
But how many goals did he have?
Let me see here. Kai Wagner had 0 goals, just 15 assists.
So Alba has to have the record. He's got 18 goal contributions as a fullback.
Well, so Kai Wagner won outside back for the MLS 11 that season. So definitely Jordi Alba is in line to win the best outside back of this MLS season for sure.
Yeah. So Fabi, I currently have the LA Galaxy and Houston Dynamo game on, just because the Galaxy control their own destiny, just kind of like Inter Miami did. If they win, they're the first seed. If they lose, LAFC has a chance to obviously take the first seed. What game do you have on right now? Which game are you watching currently?
I actually don't have any game on. I'm just looking at these.
You crazy stats. Man.
Yeah. Well, I sat down and I forgot to put on the TV, but I'm looking at your scores here, but I do definitely need to put one on.
I think I got it. Okay, yeah, I do have it. I just wanted to make sure that I had it. I was looking at the stream and it kind of looked a little like it said 2-2. I'm like, wait, holy hell, someone scored already? Because I'm actually, I got my computer working out. The first stream, for some reason, my computer wasn't working, or Apple wasn't working on it, so you couldn't watch the stream. So I had to watch it on my iPad. So I had to look down and look up and look over here. Just a lot of bouncing around. But yeah, I mean, dude, the first games, hopefully these games live up to the hype of the first games. And I told the chat earlier that the Western Conference isn't really have any type of there's not any competition for who's going to make the playoffs. That's already set in stone. It's just about the seeding. of who's going to make the playoffs, like, or the positioning of the playoffs, because Portland is the final team in. But are they going to be the ninth seed, the seventh seed? There's only 5 points separating the ninth seed and the fifth seed. So there is a lot of changing that can go. And RSL and Seattle are tied at 57 points. So they could swap too. So there's a lot of positioning that can change really quickly in the Western Conference, which is going to make it interesting, because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the ninth seed playing, or the eighth seed playing LA Galaxy. They haven't lost a game at home this year. So if you get the eighth seed, you're in trouble.
No, I definitely agree. Nobody wants to be the eighth seed going into, Dignity Health. The only team that I saw was on the borderline of beating my LA Galaxy was Miami the first game. That's the only one I ever saw that the LA Galaxy had a scrap for, right? But at home, they were dominant. They even beat Chivas at home, right? For League's Cup. They destroyed them. So LA Galaxy is a great team. Nobody wants to play them in the first round. And it's kind of weird. You almost want to play LAFC in the first round. I feel like they're a little more vulnerable at home. So if you're a team that's around the 8th position, you're kind of hoping for LAFC to take that first spot, in my opinion.
I think LAFC is a team that can get caught sleeping and get knocked out by a Colorado or an RSL, or a Portland, maybe not Portland. I think maybe an RSL, Seattle, or maybe even a Houston. A team like that, I think, could sneak up a win on LAFC. But LAFC obviously is talented enough to beat anybody. I mean, they could be the MLS Cup champs. Real quick, let me get the chat involved. Let's see. Cringe said earlier he just scored a hat trick for Argentina against Bolivia, who was on a 3-0 game streak. So they won 3 in a row. So that is impressive. Mr. said, I wouldn't say Messi's the absolute best in the world anymore, but he's up there at 37. He's still capable of being spectacular. And Cringe said agreed. I think he might have been agreeing with Mr. there. Friend of the show, Mo Football, says familiar faces. Mo, where you at, man? Where you at? Kobe Brown says got $200 on RSL LFG. Man, he's putting his money where his mouth is, right?
He is.
So this is going to, I'll tell you what, Bobby, like towards the end of the season, a lot of fans get fatigued and they're like, man, feels like it's going on forever. I'm ready for the regular season to be over. This feels like it's dragging its feet. And I think maybe even you and I have kind of felt like that in years past. 100%. But it feels like there's a little bit of energy building up, like things are getting exciting because, literally after this match or after these set of games, MLS Cup playoff starts Wednesday.
Yeah, which is wild. It happened so fast because it took forever to get here, right? So it's kind of insane that it's coming right now, right? So, and then Friday, the first seeds start to play, right? So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think Friday or Saturday. Yes. So the playoffs are full.
It's Friday. I know that for a fact.
The playoffs are fully underway this weekend. Like that's the first round. So I'm gonna have to get that MLS playoff prediction video out ASAP. Probably, maybe even tomorrow. Might have to get that out tomorrow. So yeah, man. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. This is moving quickly, right? This is a lot quicker than it normally is. And last year I had some really bad fatigue with Leagues Cup because it was just so exciting and it was a month full, games every night. It just felt.
We got a goal. Driussi scores for Austin.
First goal of the night for the Western Conference and decision day. Austin FC up 1-0 on Colorado. Sebastian Driussi puts the Austin, Texas club on the board first against Colorado. Wow, that's interesting. Austin FC fired Josh Wolf a couple weeks ago. We'll see where they go moving forward. Say what?
Driussi said, "I'm gonna start playing now." Are they in Austin or are they Q2?
Yeah, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah.
Man, the city of Austin just has a crazy schedule today. I mean, College Game Day was there today, and then now they have a Austin FC decision day. But
David
I bet
Yapper,
everybody.
He says, I'll donate $5 if the Galaxy win. Hey, I appreciate that. I can't root for a team, but I would appreciate that. Also, hey, become a member of the show. It's only $2.99 a month. Make sure you become a member of the channel. There's some cool things we're going to do, maybe some private streams and some private videos for members only, and maybe even play FIFA. Like I'll give you my gamer tag. We'll play some FIFA, man. I'm okay, but hey, we'll see what happens.
Come see me at Madden. No,
Say what?
come see me at Madden. I'll get you.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I think that
yeah. So MLS confirmed what you were saying, Will. Lionel Messi and Suarez are the first duo to have 20 goals in regular season history on the same team.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see that again. Hey, let me ask you this: do you think me saying that they kind of like looked up, like, wait, let me see if that's true?
100%. Yeah, I've seen them work real time, and
was on the communications post?
Yeah, they're a great team out there, but yeah, 100%. They probably saw something and they were like, oh wow, and let's look into it.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't know if that will be replicated.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
I don't know if that will ever be replicated, because that's a feat. Like I said, most teams are lucky to have one goal scorer with 20 goals. They got two.
All right. After seeing that, you still think Gabriel Peck is your newcomer of the year?
Yeah, I do, because here's the thing. I'll tell you why. Love to know what the chat thinks about this. We'll get them involved, right? Gabriel Peck is on a team that didn't even make the playoffs last year. Now, obviously, Inter Miami didn't either, but they have Messi. Gabriel Peck was brought in to be the guy. Ricky Puig is the guy, but he was there last year. So Gabriel Peck comes in here, and he's 22 years old. He scores 15 goals, 14 assists, 29 goal contributions. Suarez only has 26, by the way.
27.
He's got 7 assists now. I thought. Oh yeah, he does. You're right. You're right. Okay, 27.
You missed that beautiful assist.
Yeah, no. You're right.
I could. 37-year-old they get the air like that
to Messi. Yeah. So, but either way, but Peck still has more, and I think Peck is the most important player on this team, and age. I mean, look at him down the. Dude, he's got 3 defenders on him, and he's cooking these guys. He's literally had 3 defenders on him right there down the flank, and he was just absolutely fucking. Slipped right there. He was absolutely going to work. Pardon my French, got me fired up. He was absolutely going to work. So yes, I think Gabriel Peck is still my newcomer of the year.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, would the Galaxy be the number 1 team in the West without Gabriel Peck?
The same thing that you just said for the last 2 minutes could be said about Suarez. The same exact thing. But
here's the thing that's important, though, is that Paintsel is, or I'm watching Paintsel. Peck is the MVP of his team. Suarez isn't the MVP of his team.
I don't know. Some people would say Ricky Puig is the MVP of their team.
Is he, though?
I mean, he's probably going to get more votes than Gabriel Peck for MVP.
Yeah, he is, but that's just because Gabriel Peck's going to win the. He's going to win the newcomer of the year. Yeah. I think that Peck definitely is a game changer, and plus the Galaxy have been down for so long that down as far as like no one has considered them to be a serious MLS Cup contender except this year for the first time in like 8-9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Even Zlatan Ibrahimovic's teams, I don't think they were a serious MLS Cup contending team. I think that he definitely deserves his flowers. I mean, he's incredible. Now Suarez is definitely second, right? Suarez is definitely up there, and you can't discount what he's done. But man, Gabriel Peck does things that we haven't seen before. And I don't think this team, if you took Luis Suarez off the team, how many less wins do you think they would have?
A lot, like 9.
9?
I think 9.
What?
100%.
9? What the hell?
100%.
9 wins?
Messi was injured. Suarez took that team under his wing.
But they won, dude. They won like 7 games without Suarez.
That's fine, but still, I would still say that you scored 20 goals. You achieved history as the most points scored. You won the Supporters' Shield. You deserve a shout for newcomer of the year.
Well, that's why I'd say he's number 2, man. But come on, you think they'd lose 9 less games without Suarez?
Yeah, I really do.
I mean, they won Leagues Cup without him last year.
Or maybe they don't win them; they tie them. Like basically, think about the last game when at Toronto, Campana scores the last-minute goal. That goal doesn't happen without Suarez's assist. Excuse me.
Man, I don't know about that. I think think maybe they lose 4 more games. I don't know about 9, but how many games would they lose if they didn't have Messi?
3.
Suarez is winning more than Messi?
I think the goals that Suarez scored
Oh my God.
were
Are you
more
trying to
important.
go viral or something tonight?
No, I'm just saying. Messi barely had any game-winning goals. I'm just gonna say it. Suarez had 7 game-winning goals compared to Messi's 2.
Mr. says Peck has had an excellent season. I'd still say Puig is the straw that stirs the drink, but Gabriel Peck can be electrifying.
Also, how many goals did Gabriel Peck have against the Earthquakes? Right? Like, come on.
I don't know how many did he have, like 3?
Probably. That's the worst team in the league by far. They played him like 3 times this year.
Hey man, he doesn't make the schedule.
That's true.
Hey, but honestly, the Eastern Conference has been the bottom of the Eastern Conference has been really bad. I mean, hasn't Miami played the Revolution 3 times?
Yeah, but the Revs are always a tough team under Caleb Porter. All right.
I can tell the 6-2 performance tonight. They were really tough. Messi and Suarez had 5 goals together.
Yeah. And he's not going to win Newcomer of the Year. That's wild.
Hey, but honestly, Karaskia. Oh, what a save by Yoshida. Karaskia almost scored a beautiful goal. Here's the thing, too.
Oh, San Jose goes up 1-0.
Let me refresh this for you guys. My bad. Okay. Yep, San Jose up on LAFC 1-0, 16 minutes in. Keep an eye on that. That's very interesting, like what will happen with that. But also, too, Fabi, think about this. Isn't this a good thing that we've had so many? And by the way, that save by on Karaskia was beautiful. This was a heading save by Yoshida. I would have been knocked out for about 3 weeks if I'd saved that with my head, dude. I probably had to go to the hospital. And he went for it, dude. He went for it.
He has been a pretty good player for the Galaxy, 100%.
He has. He's been reliable. But this is what I was going to say, Fabi. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. I was going to say that this is a good argument to have because that just shows how many quality players there have been this year in MLS,
right?
To where it is hard to say who's going to win these awards, right?
It's awesome.
If Luis Suarez is the runner-up or Gabriel Peck is the runner-up of the Newcomer of the Year, most years they would have won it.
Yeah,
most years Cucho Hernandez would have ran away with the MVP with his stats.
Yeah.
So that just shows that the quality is improving to where it's not easy to say, yeah, that guy is the MVP. That guy or that guy is Newcomer of the Year. That guy's Defender of the Year. Like it's actually a battle now because there are more quality players in this league.
No, definitely.
So now there was an interesting question posed to me earlier. I'll ask you. FC Dallas scored. Let's see.
Yeah.
FC Dallas up 1-0 on Sporting Kansas City. That's a beautiful transition to my next question for you. Who is the next MLS coach fired?
Fired?
Yeah, fired. Who's the next coach that's going to get canned?
Shoot. Probably the next Quakes coach, whoever it is. Do you think
so?
You think Lucid from Dallas? He just got the job. He just got the full role.
Who did?
Lucid.
He got the full-time gig with Dallas?
Yeah.
Man, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. They could have had Bradley Carnell. He wanted that job bad.
Let me see. Let me double check this. Oh, Lucid. My apologies. Lucid.
Nice save on Joseph Painter's goal attempt.
I might have seen some rumors. Excuse me for spreading misinformation.
Man, you can't be spreading misinformation like that. Steve Clark had a nice save on Joseph Painter, but it looks like he got a little banged up in the process. Chat, I apologize. Favi is supposedly, and I thought was a world-class journalist. He just gets things occasionally wrong sometimes. We're sorry he's spreading fake news.
Yeah, my bad. It happens to the best of us.
But either way, there's I wouldn't consider that's still up in the air. He's been fired, right?
Did I drop the ball? Did I just spread a rumor?
just disregard the last 3 minutes of the conversation. It never happened.
Sources, he's the lead runner.
but even still, Favi, like I wouldn't consider that to be a firing. I'm talking about because an interim coach, that's just kind of like temporary, anyways.
Right.
Who is the next coach that is the full-time manager that's going to get canned in MLS?
I would say it has to be Caleb Porter, right? I mean, they had the worst season of a guy of a team that still has a coach that's not brand new, right? Nashville has BJ. The Quakes don't have anybody now. FC Dallas doesn't have anybody now. Josh Wolf just got fired. I don't see any other team. I mean, what team had like a meltdown at the end? DC United, right? Troy Lesnes. Is he going to stay at DC? I think so. I mean, that
Troy Lesnes. So here's my rule, and I stick by this, and this is how I think it should be fair, right? If you're a first year coach and you don't make the playoffs, you should keep your job at least for the next year, unless it's just absolutely like a horrific season, right? Now, if it's not your first year and you miss the playoffs, I think you need to be canned. You need to be fired. There's only one coach who meets that criteria that's available right now. Coach who's not who?
Peter
Vermees. Get him out, dude. Out.
100%. They need something new there.
Yeah. So he's been the manager for 15 years. They missed the playoffs. They're treading water. They're absolutely embarrassing. Need a breath of fresh air. And on top of that, Favi, I think this is something else that could happen. I think this offseason is going to be very interesting, but we're not there yet. We got the playoffs, folks. We still got the playoffs. But I believe that Jim Curtin is going to leave the Union, not get fired, leave on his own accord because they don't give him any help. And I believe if that happens, he's instantly going to be the favorite in Atlanta. I think he could possibly go to, I don't think he's going to go to a Sporting Kansas City. I think he could go to a Dallas. I think a team in the playoffs that might not be happy with their coach could let them go and then end up replacing them with Jim Curtin. So I think Jim Curtin is going to be a hot commodity, and I'll be interested to see where he ends up. But I do think there's a good chance he leaves the Union after the season.
Yeah, I mean, guys to keep an eye out for Atlanta: Wolf, Vieira, Curtin. If he leaves Philadelphia, that would be an interesting. I mean, I think that's the number one spot, right? If you're an MLS coach or that kind of talent level, if you're looking at Atlanta, you're just licking your lips, knowing that is going to be a team that's going to fund you. And also, Garth gives you players that are good MLS players. He doesn't go for the young, talented guy that you eventually sell off. He goes for the Miranchuks. He goes for the Lodatos, right? He goes for the guys who are going to perform in MLS, and they're going to be one of the best players in the league, excuse me. So I just think that job is definitely the most enticing. You imagine Josh Wolf failing up.
He doesn't deserve another job. He doesn't deserve another job.
Hey, he's one of Berhalter's boys. He's going to get a job in MLS. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's going to get a job with Berhalter as an assistant coach with Chicago Fire. I think. I mean, he's only made the playoffs one time in 3 years. If he gets a job, that's crazy.
I can see Luchi Gonzalez doing the same, going with Berhalter in Chicago, because he was one of Berhalter's guys as well.
I'm hoping that someone will hire El Piojo. Like I hope that still happens, because I just want to see him in the league. Guys, we got 34 people in here. Please make sure you like this video down below. Share with a friend. Get all your friends to come join me and Favi, man. We're watching the Western Conference Decision Day to see if the LA Galaxy are going to finish first place or LAFC is going to finish first place, and everything in between on what the seeding is going to be. So share with a friend, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. We are less than 700. I think we're 670 subs away from 5K. We're going to hit that 5,000 number before the season ends. I believe we will do it with your help. This is the fastest growing MLS only channel that there is. So we appreciate it. Let's get there before the end of the season and keep this thing growing and help this league grow. I appreciate all the support. So Favi, I think that this playoff that we're about to see could be the best playoffs we've ever seen, because, oh my God, Peck's cooking right now. He's just dribbling around everybody. I think this playoffs is going to be something we've never seen before, because all the big heavyweights are here in the playoffs. All of them. There's not a single big market team that's missing the playoffs this year. Any bad teams?
Well, hold on. San Jose's not there. Come on now.
They got relegated. They're actually in Liga MX now.
Hey, look, I already have my pin ready for next year. Look at this. The team that's coming up for the Earthquakes,
Sacramento. Oh man. Yeah, but on a serious note though, like this is, I mean, both LA teams, Miami, Columbus,
New York.
both New York teams. Now, it would be nice if Toronto and like Chicago were in the playoffs, but you can't have everything. But the good historic teams are going to be in the playoffs, and that's going to be nice to see.
Yeah, the West Coast is going to, or the Western Conference is going to be fun if we get an El Trafico at the Western Conference final. I mean, man, that would be a game, right? Another game to add to their crazy lore. And then on the Eastern Conference side, Columbus, Miami for that final. You imagine that? So it's just like, this is going to be the top dogs of MLS. And I think it's going to end up being the top dogs of MLS. I don't think there's going to be too many upsets because historically there's not too many upsets. Most MLS teams win at home in the playoffs. So it's just, I don't see any of the big teams catastrophically failing at home. So it's definitely going to be one of the better MLS playoffs of all time.
We have another scoring update. Minnesota United have scored on St. Louis City SC. They are up 1-0. We have another score.
So if that stands, then it's Vancouver, Portland, and then they're going to play in Portland, right? Even though Portland's the 9th seed.
Yep. So there's just so much going on, so many things, so many variables that could change at the drop of a hat or a goal. That's why decision day is so great. I mean, there's just so much going on right now. LA Galaxy look like they're about to score. Oh, looks like it's offside, or maybe a foul on the defender.
Let me just turn off my camera 1 second so I can put on a game.
Did you say so you can put on a game?
Yeah. Let me put on a game real quick.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So I think that this is going to be a very interesting playoffs. I'll be curious to see if it's going to be big market teams that prevail and make it. I mean, you and I both know that the league ideally would want Miami versus an LA team in the final. That's what they would want because the Galaxy haven't made it to a final in 10 years. LAFC has been the best team in the league the last couple of years. Inter Miami obviously have the brand appeal.
The best outcome for the league would be, in my opinion, Miami versus LA Galaxy or another Columbus LAFC.
I agree. I think that definitely would be ideal. But honestly, if LAFC make it to, I'm gonna proclaim this. If LAFC make it to another MLS Cup final, parity is dead in Major League Soccer. It's dead. Teams don't make it 3 years in a row, and you like don't make the MLS Cup final 3 years in a row in a league that has parity.
All right, chat. Here we go. What game should I put on? Out of all the games, which one are you watching?
Help Fabi decide which game. He can't watch the LA Galaxy and Houston game. We're trying to divide the duty, right? The work. He's got to watch a different game. Should he put on the LAFC game? Watch his backyard team in San Jose? Should he put on RSL in Vancouver?
There we go. Dallas, Kansas City. Don't make me suffer now.
Joe Ryan Salazar says, I'm listening to the Joe Totino's radio broadcast side by side with the stream. Appreciate that, by the way. Close calls so far between LA and Houston. Good game. Yeah, it's been a very good game. Very, very good, close game. LA Galaxy defense actually looks better than it has most of the year. And that's been the biggest question mark of them if they can compete for a cup. Is how is that back four going to hold up? Joe Ryan Salazar says, let's go Quakes. As an original California rival, you got this, San Jose. He wants...
Bouanga almost had a goal there. Almost. Side netting.
You got it. Man, do you know how many times I've seen Denny Bouanga hit that side netting and you think it's a goal?
That's his move right there.
That's his signature.
Right. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I think that LAFC kind of scares me a little bit too because, Giroud hasn't really panned out so far. There's still a couple question marks about him.
It's crazy because what he's brought in to do, he does well. Like he brings the ball down, he holds it up very well. But this team was a team that was just flying so well without him. I mean, they were like one of the fastest teams. They were the best goal scoring teams, and it's just so crazy that you think a legend of this game would actually hinder an MLS team, right? Which is wild to think about.
100%. David the Yapper said, bruh, Joe Totino's commentary is amazing. Not a fan of Apple TV's commentary. Yeah, him and Colby Jones are like the OGs. Definitely some of the best we've seen. Luke says Royce will have much more of an impact for the Galaxy than Giroud for LAFC. I think that's true. I think he has.
I think he's already has, yeah.
Yeah, I think he has already. I don't think Giroud's really done much for LAFC. I think the biggest downside to the Giroud signing was that they didn't get Griezmann to kind of piece it up, like to get it together. Because those two obviously play very, very attractive soccer together. They know each other very well. And that was like a missing piece to really unlock it. And then we'll see when that signing might happen next summer, the winter time. We'll see. It will happen, just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, you almost feel like Giroud is an appetizer for what's going to come, right? So you almost have to do it because of what's coming, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Mr. says, I've got the LAFC versus San Jose game on the TV on mute in this stream on my phone. Mr. You're the best, man. I appreciate your support. And not to mention, Fabi, Mr. is the biggest fan of MLS moves in the UK. Dude, he literally will stay on these streams and watch with us, even from UK. He said there was one game, it was super late. I think it was El Trafico. He's like, yeah, man, it's like 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, but I'm gonna watch it anyways. I'm gonna stay up and watch it with you guys. So Mr. is a great supporter of the show. I appreciate it, man. You're one of the day ones of the channel, so I will never forget what you all the support you shown this channel.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, like, in England they care about MLS as much as that,
I think they do because it's interesting. Like, there's no, there's a lot of uncertainty, right?
Also, it's at completely different times. So if you're like a huge soccer fan, right, but you have a Prem team, you can't really watch the La Liga teams because maybe your Prem team's playing at the same time. MLS offers a different time slot, so that's always good too.
100%. ITRNE says LAFC will be winning the West for the next 10 years, I think, like the Dodgers. I mean, what happens if the Galaxy win it tonight, though? I mean,
why do you have to throw the Dodgers in there?
Well, I mean, what if the Galaxy win it tonight? Then I guess that kind of like derails that, right? That argument. Did the Dodgers win tonight?
Let me see. I just don't. I don't know, but I stopped watching baseball once the Dodgers got that crazy Ohtani deal. That get out of here with that. No, they play tomorrow. It's 3-2.
It's 3-2.
Paid $2 million a year. Come on, man. Get out of here.
Man, that's a sweetheart deal. Let's see. Keyshawn says none of these LA wingers cross the ball. Yes, that's trouble. LAFC. They don't cross the ball. That's the reason why Giroud isn't been effective, because he can't get any headers. Like they don't cross in the ball and use that aerial threat, which is one of the strong suits of his game. So that's something that definitely needs to change in the offseason. They need to do something to try to get that more.
Well, they have Bogusz on one side and Buong on the other, and they're both looking for a goal, right? So
not only that, but they're playing. But they got Denny and Maddie playing as like inverted wingers, so it's a little bit harder to cross when they're playing like that. Buonga's always looking to shoot. Yeah, he definitely gets his 100%. Shot. Joe Ryan says Joe Dottino needs to be in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. He is to the Galaxy as Vin Scully was the Dodgers, and Chick Hearn to the Lakers. Legend. So we got the biggest Joe Dottino stan in the world in the chat tonight. Hey, hopefully he knows how much you support him, man. He is good though.
I think MLS or Apple TV does know this, because you never really see Taylor Twellman talk on, and that's their number one guy, right? Taylor Twellman talk on the LA Galaxy kind of games. So I almost think they're forfeiting kind of the voice of LA Galaxy to the radio broadcast, because they understand that it's already kind of a person and a legend in that market. So it's interesting. That's definitely an interesting take.
Yeah, and also too, I think that like there's been an issue because a lot of like Joe Dottino doesn't want to call other games. He wants to call out like Galaxy games. It's hard to do that. They want to move people around and stuff and do different matches, but he wants to do LA Galaxy games. So it kind of made it difficult for him to, I don't know if he even wanted to do it unless he was doing Galaxy games with Colby Jones. So that it just made it a little bit more difficult. Keyshawn says Caden Clark really improved since his move. Yeah, he has. He's like revitalized himself since he went to Montreal from Minnesota United. He's having a great bounce back season.
LAFC is really pressuring. They almost had a shot on goal. Buonga was so close to having a goal.
He's threatening, man. Like you said, hey, like who was it? Keyshawn said Buonga always looking to shoot a shot. Cute Kenny says MLS will always get hate, but still enjoy it no matter what. I do too. A lot of people are saying I was
valid. You think is the hate valid this year? Like, this season, do you think the hate was valid that, oh, they're not even the best league in North America? And
I
like,
mean,
I almost think the hate is not valid anymore. I actually think MLS has made some strides this last couple of years, in my opinion.
I think the hate's valid as far as people wanting more because they know the potential, but I don't think just crapping on the league every single time and it can do no good because there's certain people that say, just for example, right? They say the league's not good enough, but then if they sign a player that is really good, they say, "Oh, that guy's too good for the league." So it's like,
Right.
how are they supposed to get better if they don't sign guys that you consider too good for the league? How are they supposed to get to a level where they are good? They're going to
Well,
have to sign guys that are too good for the league.
like we've said this many times before, like guys like Suarez and then guys like Peck, you need both of them to make this league better. Personally, I think you need the young guy that's gonna move on to Europe, and then you also need the legend to come in and show that they're still quality and that this league's still hard too.
Yeah, and also I think Messi being on Inter Miami and just in the league in general has opened the eyes of many people to see these guys that maybe would have been overlooked, like Redondo. Like I don't know if Diego Gomez is going to Brighton for $18 million if he's not playing on Inter Miami with Messi. Like
Oh, 100%.
that's getting eyeballs on him that maybe would have never knew who he was or you know
Or getting minutes with Paraguay, right? I don't think he would be getting that if he was on Sporting Kansas City. So it's interesting to see that these young South American players. I mean, have they missed on any of them? I mean, Toto Aviles maybe hasn't lived up to his bill. Redondo hasn't done too much.
he's been good enough though. He
Hmm.
Toto Aviles has been
Is
the
he a bust?
disappointing. Well, it's a little early because he's only 20. He's still really young. They
So
bought him at 19.
to be honest, the bar is so low for an MLS defender that it's hard to label him as a bust, like you said, at 20 years old, right? So it's just interesting to see, like, maybe he doesn't pan out to what Facundo Farias and Diego Gomez and Redondo are going to be, like European players. But if he's a solid MLS defender for them for 8 years, is that a bust? It can't be, right?
No, no. Well, hopefully, I think the idea is that maybe he develops and he's not in the league in 7-8 years. He's moves off sooner than that. But Facundo Frias, he's not a bust because he hasn't played. He got injured. I'd say I wouldn't call him a bust. But
Have
yeah,
they
I mean,
missed,
just
have they missed on any of their transfers, do you think?
um, I mean, I think Toto Alvarez could definitely be better. I wouldn't say he's a bust. I just think with the position they're in to win now, they need him to be better than what he is right now. He
Yeah.
still could be good, but he's not living up to what the price tag. I mean, they spent $7.5 million on him as a
Right.
defender.
Right.
So, Karaskia, what a nice save by John McCarthy. What a save. Yeah, I just think that they're for them, he's been disappointing because they needed him to be better out the gate.
Look, since we're at the end of the year, what do you think the best offseason move or trade was minus Miami?
Best offseason move outside of Miami. So no Miami moves.
Yeah, no Miami moves. I mean, it could be like Yedlin going to Cincy. I'll give you that. Like, what do you think has been the best move for our team?
Best move for a team in 2020 for MLS. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Let me look at everything because I'm just want to look at the teams and it's kind of like
Orejano is a good one. That's a good one to bring in after
Orshano. Yeah, he's good.
Villarreal after he wanted to leave. That was a kind of a quick one that they had to bring in. I can tell you this right now, Bupenza was a horrible one.
I think that
Corey Baird being your starting striker actually, wasn't too bad.
I want to say that one that came to mind was Jonathan Rodriguez for Portland because he had like 15
Right.
goals. I think he's been pretty good.
Yeah, if there was like a partial newcomer of the year, that definitely has to go to Jonathan Rodriguez, right? Like comes in halfway through the season and then just goes off blistering start. I mean, to his career in MLS. But he's a guy that we knew he was going to score in MLS because he scored in Liga MX, right? He was the top goal scorer in Liga MX for many years. So it's those are the type of guys, in my opinion, MLS should be targeting as well. If you're a San Diego team, go ahead.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be discredited by now. Yeah, Peck and Paintsel has definitely been really good too. I mean,
Yeah.
Probably Peck, honestly. Yeah, Peck.
That
I'd
was
say
last year, right?
2024, this winter.
Yeah. Okay.
So Peck, yeah, I'd say Peck or Peter. Yeah, Peter Moose has been really good for Dallas. He's been
Yeah,
really
Peter
good.
Musa. Okay, that's
Moose
a
has
good
been
one.
good. But here's one outside the box I don't think people talk about enough. Okay. What about how big of a signing?
Oh, Hugo Lloris with the mistake.
You know what's fun?
Oh,
You know what's
changed
funny
it.
is that's literally how I was just about to say.
Oh,
Swear to
really?
God. Swear to God. What about Hugo Lloris? Guy. So they trade away Maxime Crepeau,
Or
MLS
they don't
veteran.
resign him. They don't resign him, and they don't resign.
I think they trade him though. I think he had a deal. He had a they still think they trade his rights to Portland.
Oh,
He just wanted too much money. But he's a veteran. He knows the league. He's been very good. They get rid of him. They take on a 37-year-old Hugo Lloris, not playing at Tottenham. A lot of people think he's done, not getting many minutes, wondering if he's going to make this back line a liability because he's not going to be able to save the shots like he used to be able to.
right.
And I'd say he's arguably, if it wasn't for Kalina, he might be the goalkeeper of the year.
Right.
I think he's been solid for LAFC. I think he's been very, very good. So I think that Hugo Lloris and not only that, let's change the question, right? Who's been the best bargain signing? I think it'd have to be Hugo Lloris. He's only making $350K.
Without Miami included, has to be Hugo Lloris.
Now Luis Suarez, here's the thing people need to realize. Luis Suarez signed for a TAM deal. He's making $1.5 million this year. Him scoring 20 goals in a deal like that, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know how long some of the viewers have been following MLS, how many years, but the first year that Zlatan Ibrahimovic was in Major League Soccer, he was a TAM deal. He was a $1.5 million TAM deal. He scored 22 goals, and he said, "All right, guys, I did you a favor. I'm not doing that again. I got to get paid." So he says, "I'm not, hey, listen, man, I can retire. I can go to the beach. I don't really have to play soccer anymore. I'm good. I'm 37 years old." So he kind of forced their hand, and he got a pay raise from 1.5 million Fabi to $7.5 million. So, and he's worth every penny because he scored 29 goals that next season. But I say that to say that
even 7.5 is a steal, right?
No, it is for what he did for sure. But that's my point, Fabi, is like if Zlatan Ibrahimovic got a pay raise of 1.5 to 7.5 because he scored 22 goals, you think Luis Suarez is out of contract after this year. You think he's gonna play another season for 1.5 mil?
I don't know. This is a special scenario where it's because of Messi, right? He's there because of Messi. He's there for his family. So another thing too to keep in mind, they're pretty close to Uruguay, right? Like Miami is I would say the hub of South America. So either I don't know. I just don't see him leaving Miami if he's still able to play. And I don't think he's going to make it such a hard time because if you're Miami, you got to pay Jordi Alba too, right? Like Jordi Alba is on a TAM deal. So I don't know. I think Messi's like, hey guys, this is why I made a drink company. If you guys want to be ambassadors for my drink company, we could give you a quick $5 million and you can keep playing with me, So.
Well, that's why I think that there's going to be some changes of some sort because they don't want to lose these guys.
Yeah, right. It is interesting. And Henderson might be on his way to Atlanta, right? That's the rumor.
Is he?
Yeah, that's what the rumors are saying, that Gareth wants to bring in a guy who knows the MLS system and give him the reins.
Interesting. I see. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, that's the rumor around Miami, at least. That Hendo's time is up, and they brought in that Barcelona guy to take over when Hendo leaves because a lot of them think that Hendo is going to go ahead and move on.
Well, apparently the Barca guy's been pulling a lot of strings already. That's what I heard a couple months ago. Now, Luke brought up a good point. I think Miami will get rid of Campana and give Suarez that DP spot for the next year. Oh, Ponce scores for Houston Dynamo. They are up 1-0 on the LA Galaxy off of the set piece. Houston Dynamo up.
You imagine if LAFC and the Galaxy both lose?
That'd be funny. That'd be funny as hell, honestly. There'd be a lot of irony there, right?
Right.
But it looks like Colorado's tied up with Austin too. Sorry, guys. So Dallas is up 2-0 on Sporting Kansas City. Austin FC and Colorado tied 1-1. Let's see. Seattle scores on Portland. They're up 1-0. things are starting to heat up, Favi. Before the half, things are starting to heat up.
Yeah, it's definitely getting interesting. San Jose is actually playing like a coherent team, which is the weirdest thing. We forget that Ian Russell is fighting for his job, right? He's the interim at San Jose. He might be the next coach. He was the coach for the USL affiliate Reno. He's been in the system before. He might get that job. So if they pull off this win, that's definitely a good taste in their mouth by the end of the season.
Which team's the Locomotives? Is that Reno or is that New Mexico?
No, that's El Paso.
El Paso. Okay.
Yeah, and they have the rivalry with Austin.
Okay.
They compete for the Copa Zejas.
Man, it's hard to keep up all these teams, man. They're popping up everywhere. But yeah, so Luke had brought up the point about buying down Campana. But the thing is, Campana's already been bought down.
Yeah, he's not a DP anymore. So they technically have a DP spot open. I think you bring in another guy. I think you tell Suarez, hey, Suarez, look, if you put a DP in our hands with your salary, we're not going to be able to go after guys. And I think if you're Suarez, you got to be like, okay, I understand. You know, we're trying to get Messi all the silverware possible for the Club World Cup. I can't be selfish. And hold up, we're talking about Messi. Messi can literally make a new company of whatever, slippers, and he'll make $5 million for Suarez. So I'm actually shocked that Messi and Suarez don't have a company together. That's something that's like a no-brainer, I would feel like. Messi has a production company too now, so it's interesting to see. Maybe Suarez has his own show on it. Who knows?
Yeah, it looks like they're reviewing this goal to see if it was a handball for Ponce before he scored.
Oh, that's cool. Some of the LAFC fans are dressed up as Day of the Dead for LAFC. That's pretty cool.
Really?
That
is cool. Get festive with it, right?
Yeah.
But I think what happens too, Fabi, is I think they will add that fourth DP. I'm not reporting that. That's just my opinion. I think they will add something like that because Keyshawn brings up a good point about Di Maria coming. Di Maria wants to come to Miami. He obviously extended his deal with Benfica. I think he does want to come. They really couldn't make it work because there wasn't enough money for him to come this year.
Right.
Especially because they had so many defensive deficiencies. They had to get that center back situation, figured out with David Martinez.
Yeah.
Or,
I have to look at what comes off the books for Miami because I think Kristoff comes off, and that's a big piece of change. I think that's
God.
800 to 900,000.
Well, Campana's making 900K too, and I know you like Campana.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's good. I like him too. I just don't like him for Inter Miami. I think he needs to be starting somewhere.
I don't know. I think that he might get an offer for about $4 to $5 million from a European team, and I think they sell him personally.
$5 million for Campana?
I think they're gonna have to make moves, right? Well,
what kind of voodoo or mind tricks are they playing on him, man? Like, is there $3 million, $4 million in the sack he's taking with him when he's going there? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Why, you think the price is like $8 million, $9 million
for Campana?
I don't see a team paying that much.
Dude, no. I think your $4 or $5 million's overshooting him. I think he's maybe, like, if you're lucky, you might get $2 million out of him. $3 million.
No, he plays for Ecuador, so
it doesn't matter.
$4 to $5 million.
No, they didn't even pay that for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he's gonna be valued a little more. He's a national team player for one of the good teams in South America. If Ecuador played the United States right now, they would beat him.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
Stop.
Ecuador.
You're just trying to say stuff.
No, I swear to God.
We got 46 people watching right now. You're just trying to get some attention.
Pochettino hasn't showed me anything.
Listen, we're not even getting to that tonight. That's a different stream.
No, but
let's see.
I swear to God, I think listen to this. If Campana's not worth $4 million or $5 million, he would be sold to an MLS team for $2 million in GAM. That's 100%. Or traded, excuse me.
I don't know, man. Well, hold on. Before we get into this,
being $2 million in GAM.
Before we get into this, 1 second. Okay, guys, we have 45 of you watching with us live right now. Please make sure you like the video down below. Share with a friend. It's halftime. We have a whole other half left of MLS Decision Day in the Western Conference. So share this video with a friend. Let's grow the audience with me and Favi. We got my buddy Nick coming on at halftime. He's going to join us and talk a little bit and see what he thinks about his LAFC. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are 2 subscribers away from 4330. 4330. So when we hit that goal, we'll be 670 subs away from 5,000 subscribers. You know that's my goal by the end of the year to hit. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. We do this all for free. Bring you the content of MLS. Enjoy doing it. Got the MLS Cup playoffs coming up. So just make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Appreciate all the support.
Wait, my check's not coming in the mail? I'm out of here, bro.
Yeah, sorry. I canceled it out, man. Soccer Daddy says 5 mil at least. Soccer Daddy, what do you? Okay. No, man.
I'm not crazy. You're saying 4 million or 5 million. I'm not crazy.
Hey, someone offered him 5 million. They need to sell them yesterday.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this offseason they get a 4 million, 5 million, and they think about it, right?
Man, I don't know about it.
How much did they pay for him? Do you know? 3 million.
2 mil.
Okay.
From was it Wolverhampton? I think.
Yeah.
I think they paid 2 million for him from Wolverhampton or something like that. Yeah, man, I'm not seeing it, dude. I'm not seeing it.
Jordi Alba's camp. They're excited because of maybe they were watching the stream, but they were excited about the 14 assists for Lucho Acosta's MLS MVP season that Jordi Alba has the same. They were pretty excited about that. So,
oh man, wait. Keyshawn, facts. Poch ain't it. No slander tonight. No Poch slander tonight. None.
You didn't win with PSG. No, I'm kidding.
Joe Ryan Salazar says halftime Houston lead 1-0 against LA Galaxy. That is true. They do. And LAFC is down 1-0 to San Jose. Yeah. Emmanuel Padilla says Messi, story of the night, right? Messi. It's Messi mania leading into the playoffs, which they want, what they want. Ideal for MLS, right? They can say, yeah, Messi scored 3 goals off the bench, hat trick, right? Off the bench. By the way, we got playoffs starting next week, this weekend. So like it's a good transition.
Will, that is my cue. My son's about to call me, but it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for having me on for the first half. And
yes.
Vote Luis Suarez for Newcomer of the Year.
Bobby, listen, the invitation's open. If you and your son, if you somehow, the conversation ends a little sooner, you're more than welcome to join us back.
Thank you.
I appreciate you hopping on, my friend. I needed someone to help me out, man, because the first stream, it's a lot of stream tonight, but I do it for you guys because obviously this is fun. So I appreciate you swinging by. Tell Leo I said, hey.
We'll do. All right, guys. Take care.
See you, bro.
Thanks for having me on.
Nick, what's up, bro?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear.
What's going on, man?
Nothing. We just had Favi in here talking about this decision day being crazy. LA Galaxy and LAFC down 1-0 at the half.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. LAFC did not start this game off to what we wanted it to be, did they? And they got to rolling in the middle of the half of the game. Felt like, okay, we had some real chances. Drew's offside, which was a bummer because I really wanted to see him get in there. But the end of the half just looked sloppy, just real bad, real sloppy, not what you want LAFC to look like. So we got to really change up a couple of things going into this next half. I mean, look, our bench looks stacked, but I'll tell you who we're mostly missing, and that's going to be Mr. TK Oliveira. You can see the difference. We talked about it on my show last week. He's a difference maker on this team, and you can see where we're missing him at right now.
Yeah, well, here, what would suck, Nick, is if LAFC or the Galaxy somehow fumbled it, lost the Dynamo, and LAFC lose to the worst team in the league to close out the season. So having the chance to jump them in the standings, but fail to do so.
What an absolute joke would that be, bro? Honestly. So, we got to make some changes. And, look, it's going to be the first time that we see Carlos Vela on the bench. So we're most LAFC fans expect that we're probably going to see him, let's say, around the 69th minute, I'm hoping. What does he give us? I don't know. Everybody thinks he's going to come in and give us the golden boot style play, the beautiful left foot that we all know him to give. And, that would save the game. But, look, a 1-1 draw is not what we're looking for. We need to get these points. We need to get some, I want it to be a 2-1, 3-1 type victory. If we do that, then that puts us ahead of Carson regardless. So that's what we really need, man.
Yeah, I'm just surprised because I figured with LAFC, the way they've been playing lately, the San Jose match should be a cakewalk, man. I mean, San Jose is the worst team in the league. They got 17 points all year long. I don't even remember the last time San Jose beat LAFC in a regular season match. It's been a while. Maybe last year. I don't know. I don't even know if they beat them last year. Either way, this seemed like a game to where LAFC was going to handle business. LA Galaxy, it was going to be all in the Galaxy. Either LAFC were going to do their part. LA Galaxy, they're just praying that they lose to get that first seed in the Western Conference. And this is not the way you want to head in the playoffs, man. We talk about momentum. That is going to be a momentum killer if they lose to this bad San Jose team.
Absolutely, man. I completely agree. This is one that we can't lose. What are they fighting for? They're really fighting for nothing. They're fighting just to push us out of a position and make it where we're not first in the West. And they showed up for it, but yet we didn't. We have all to fight for, bro. So, like I said, that first half cannot be how this team comes out in the second half. We have to show up. We have to really show out. And what we've seen right there will not do it. And to your point, if this ends the way that this is and we lose to this team, a huge way to end the season games, losing to a team like this, for sure. And that's going to hurt your momentum. That's going to put a little bit of doubt in your mind. And that's something that we cannot have. We want all the momentum rolling with us going into next weekend's playoff games. And so Dolo has to do what he did last year, change the team around in the halftime and have them come back out firing like we did, as I said, last season. Most of last season, we were a second half team. Well, this game, we have to be a second half team.
100%, man. Honestly, Nick, if San Jose does find a way to win this match against LAFC, I don't want to pile on and be overanalyze it, but you've my feelings about Dolo. I believe that this could be the beginning of the end. If they lose this game, fail to get that first seed, and for some reason fail in the playoffs early on, it's not going to be good, man.
It would be unacceptable. And I think a lot of people will be calling for him. I mean, look, man, yes, we won the Open Cup and that's great, but we have lost quite a few tournaments, okay? And there's no ands if buts about it. That's unacceptable. If you lose to the worst team in the league, when there is an open opportunity, as you said, you have a chance to take the first in the West, I think people will frown on it. No matter if we're still sitting in second. Yes, that's great, but it's not okay when you have a chance to take first, when you have a chance to be home field advantage, when you have a chance to take over your rival. These are things that really come into play, right? So it isn't a type of situation where it's like, we still did good. No, you can't think like that. That's not a winner mentality. You have to say, no, we played well throughout the season, but we didn't play good enough to end at the top of the West. And that becomes an issue.
100%. A loyal listener to the show said that first half made me think that someone told Shundo that it's a cup final tonight.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to banter that at all because for some reason we don't show up when it comes to that. Now, that's true. We've won 2 out of the, 7 that we've played. I mean, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. No. Yes, we're excited to have the 2 that we won, but to say, hey, look, he makes his team show up for the big games. No, we haven't quite seen it all the way yet, right? So let's say we win this one. Okay, now that's 3 out of the 7. Now we're looking at, okay, he's made some type of statement, but to win 2 MLS Cups in the 3 years that he's been there, that'd be a good feat. But the amount of tournaments that we have lost in the final right now is not sitting well with a lot of us. So some things have to change the second half. He best be in there bringing his best game plan and telling them how they can fix this. Absolutely.
100%. And listen, I want to ask you a little bit about the league because, we'll get back to LFC in a second, but I don't know if you were able to watch the first half of the Eastern Conference decision day, see what happened, but Messi scores his 20th goal of the season, 30 goals off the bench in 35 minutes, 16 goals. This dude has 36 goal contributions, Nick, in 19 games.
It's absolutely beautiful, man. Look, I'm an LAFC fan, but I love what Miami has done. I've watched since Miami has been in the league. I have watched every game that they played almost, and
A lot of people
I
has.
and what
So a lot of people have, man, because it's fun to
You
watch,
know,
right?
well, no, I'm saying before Messi was here, and the
Oh,
people were
okay, okay.
down. People were really down on David Beckham. People were talking about how it was a sham, and they weren't in Miami, and just constantly talking shit about their team. And he had a plan from the get go, and look what he's done. Suarez looked great. Messi looks great, and then Messi says, "Yo, I'm not done yet. Don't think I'm done," which shows that he wants to come back next year. Will Suarez be with him? I don't know. But if they can continue this run, they are a hard team to beat, no doubt. Now, look, I said it on my show. I want a LAFC Miami final. I do. I think that if any team can't compete with them, it's going to be us. This team that you're seeing right now, not a chance. We're getting our ass whooped. But the team that we've seen the last 4 games, we have a real chance to show them who we are. And I think that is what we all want to see. But no, I'm all for what Miami has done. I think Messi's Messi, man, and I think he's brilliant. And I think what David Beckham has built over in Miami is absolutely fantastic. Great for the league. I hope the league sees that and wants other teams to try to spin like that, lets other teams spin like that. You know where I am on that. I think it's a shame that we didn't get Griezmann. I think things would be a little bit different. But look, if we can pull off a Griezmann and a Pogba this offseason and have them two with a Giroud and Hugo basically bringing France national team to LAFC versus Miami with all the Barca boys, that would just be an absolutely fantastic matches to watch right there. And whomever else wants to spend that type of quality money on quality players, I'm all for it. If it's the Crew, if it's Nashville, whatever, I say go for it, because it will only help this league get bigger and better. And of course, that's going to be thanks to what Miami has done, but also LAFC pushing the boundaries with getting the Gareth Bells and the Giorgio Chiellinis the year before. I think that's the way that this league needs to go.
Yeah, man. I mean, there should never be telling these players no, they can't come here because we got we got limitations. You can't come. Like, it's not even about the money anymore. These people are just turning players down that want to come here. Players used to not want to come to MLS.
Right.
They want to come.
When they want to come and you tell them no, what is that? Like, you should be open arms. I mean, I'm not trying to say like give the Saudi money, but like, you should be trying to get them as Saudi has. Yeah, you're not going to compete with that, but you have culture here that people want. They want to go watch
Lifestyle.
NFL. They want to go to NBA games. They want to go to Major League Baseball games. Go Dodgers, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. That's what's appealing to these guys. And so, yeah, you'll never give the $100 million contracts, but you can give a lifestyle, and you can give them the millions that they need in order to come here and make America their place of play and make MLS better. And so for them to say no to certain players, I think is just absolute bullshit.
Hey, tell the fine folks, man. Tell the people that Griezmann, him not coming had nothing to do with him. He was ready to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fair, even a month and a half ago, he did an interview where he said he is absolute ready to be in MLS. I mean, this was after it all fell through. He literally just said that. You can go back and watch it. It's on one of his reels. He literally is in an interview and talks about how he cannot wait to be here. The guy, as I just said, first of all, he loves collecting cards. That's one of his hobbies. He's a huge huge NFL fan, a huge NBA fan. And this guy wants to be in LA. Why is he going to want to be in LA with LAFC? Not going to Carson, going to be in LAFC because he has Carlos Vela, because he has Giroud, because he has Hugo. And these are some of his best friends. Now, like I said, we do see Vela on the bench today. Think about how wonderful that would have been to have Vela on the bench with Griezmann out on the pitch for us right now. But, look, shortcomings by LAFC too there. I mean, when you think that the league is going to be able to pay for the player and not have backup plans to say, hey, if they don't, we will cover it, shame on you for that. And so I think that's going to be the one little mishap that Mr. JT has had. And I'm not blaming him at all. It's going to be more of the owners, but he should have said, hey, look, I'm taking it to the league for them to pay for him and hopefully help us out. But if not, be ready to open up your pocketbook. And that didn't happen. So next year he will be here and he will be in the black and gold. He will be in MLS. And I look forward to yelling Griezmann every time that he's on the pitch, man. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and that's a shame, like we said, and you and I talked about this numerous times, that the league was not willing to help pay his salary, right? We heard something around like $20 million.
Yeah.
That was the agreed amount. And I don't know how you guys feel in the chat, but I think $20 million for Griezmann is a steal just because of the jerseys he'll sell, the impact he'll make on the pitch. I mean, and the personality he is, I think that's a steal. And the league not trying, the league will help out with the Messi, but they won't help out with a Griezmann. Okay, cool. Like Nick just said, LAFC isn't broke. They're not a poverty club. They got the money. 20 mil is nothing to them. They would have made that back probably in kit sales and ticket sales.
And I tell you what, yes, again, Messi is going to sell the most kits, no question. No one's going to deny that. The second biggest kit sale will be Antoine Griezmann, no question about it. And listen, even if he wasn't to come to LAFC, he's going to be the second biggest kid sale there ever was. And that's the truth, man. He's that type of player. World known. Everybody wants to know what he's doing. Everybody wants to know where he's playing. And he's that type of he's just that type of celebrity when it comes to this soccer game. And so I hope that it's going to be with LAFC. I'm positive that it's going to be with LAFC. But we'll see, man. We'll see if I'm right come next season.
He's a game changer, man. He's a game changer. And hopefully there's more like him that come this summer or this winter. Other teams too, man. Like the rumor with Pogba and a couple others. David Day, who I know is an LAFC supporter, says 2019 Shield winner, 2020 CONCACAF finalist, 2022 Cup and Shield, 2023 CONCACAF Champions Cup finalists, and then 2024 U.S. Open Cup winners.
All facts, Dave.
Yeah, but hey, Dave, listen, man, listen. But if your coach was just a little bit better, imagine how many more of those trophies he would have won, man.
Nah, it ain't even about him being better. It's about the team not showing up for the day. You know what I mean? And if that's coaching, if that's just not being prepared, if it's saying what Bob Bradley used to say is, oh, it's just another game. It's unacceptable. We can't have that. And I'm not going to.
That's a loser mentality.
All those are great accomplishments that David just said, and Dave's a great guy, part of our community over here at the VOBG. But we also have had some very shortcomings when it came into Leeds Cup and other MLS Cup and stuff like that. So we want to win it all. I'm a selfish son of a bitch, and I want to win them all. And that's what I expect. I want a team and a coach that also wants to be selfish and win them all. And when we don't, not to be bad losers, but also to wear a chip on our shoulder until we actually get that W and take home that trophy and say, okay, now the job is done for that one. We go after the next one. And that's where I'm at with that, man, for sure.
Well, I know you have to leave soon because the second half is underway. Let me finish.
I gotta go.
Let me ask you one more question before I let you go, though, real quick. What does Steve Cherundolo have to do in the playoffs to keep his job? What's the bare minimum he has to make it to keep his job in 2024
he
or
has
2025?
He has to win MLS Cup.
So if he does not win MLS Cup in 2024, he's gone.
I think people will question why, if he's still here or not, for sure. I definitely think people would question him still being with LAFC, for sure.
So if he doesn't make it to if he doesn't make it to the Western Conference final, he's out for sure.
Yeah, it's curtains.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Nick, I appreciate my friend. Make sure you follow my friend Nick at the Voices of Black and Gold. I'll be a guest maybe Monday. We haven't talked about it officially, but I think I might be a guest on there again on Monday.
We had a great show last week. Why not?
We did.
Bro?
We
Why
did.
not?
Make sure you subscribe to his channel, Voices of Black and Gold, and follow him on Twitter I think it's at _Nick Chastain _ and then follow his Voice of Black and Gold account as well. Nick, I appreciate it, my friend.
All right, Will. All right.
See you, man.
Black and Gold, baby. Let's go.
Joseph Paintsel just scored an absolute banger of a curler against the Houston Dynamo. Houston and LA tie it up 1-1. Things are going to get interesting, folks. As it stands, even if LAFC win their match, LA Galaxy will be the first seed in the Western Conference. Wow, what a curler by Joseph Paintsel, the Canadian international, the $9 million man from Genk, if I'm not mistaken, of the Belgian league. Beautiful goal by Joseph Paintsel. What a goal. What a goal by Joseph Paintsel. Man, this has been a great decision day. I hope you guys have had as much fun as me. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this. This has been a blast. Marcio says, go Galaxy, go Peck, Rocket. Yeah, man. I mean, hope you saw that goal just then. Jaden the Man says, owners are also upset about Miami invitation to Club World Cup as well. I said the same owners don't want to relax the rules and get competitive, but want to get mad when these big city teams get attention. Yeah, but honestly too, I don't think that's okay. They're doing checking the goal on a possible foul. That'd be crazy if they disallowed that. I think that there's not enough clarity about why Inter Miami is the pick for the Club World Cup representation. I mean, you can assume it's because they're the number one team in the Western or the Eastern Conference. They won the Supporter Shield, but there's no clarity about why they're the representative. I mean, you can make your assumptions. So I see why people are frustrated with that. But, let's be honest, okay? Inter Miami is one of the best brands to represent us in the Club World Cup because of Messi and because they're a competitive team. So I'm not mad about it, but I understand that there needs to be more transparency about why they are the team that's representing, while they're representing the MLS at the Club World Cup. Let's see if this is a goal. Hold on a second. Wow. So no goal. Goal waved off because Yoshida committed a foul earlier in the play, maybe on Ponce, I think. So, yeah, it was on Ponce. So because Yoshida committed a foul, no goal by the LA Galaxy. That's absolutely crazy because that was a banger by Joseph Paintsel. Wow. 1-0. Houston Dynamo still up over the LA Galaxy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Leagues Cup is the reason I thought they were picked. Maybe. I don't know for sure, honestly, DeMar. I don't know if there's any, they haven't given any transparency of why it may be. I'm not 100% sure. Inter Miami deserves it. We want the best representatives for the 2025 Club World Cup. Recency matters. Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, the only thing that sucks is that Seattle got embarrassed in 2023 and they're back again. So, definitely need somebody who has a chance winning. It definitely is not going to be Seattle. The ref is mid. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I mean, I don't really think that had anything to do with the goal. I mean, I thought that was kind of a reach, but David the Apper says, nice one, Toshida. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Yoshida definitely not good there. Oh, is that a foul on Paintsel? Is it true that the Supporter Shield isn't recognized by MLS or something? We need more MLS representatives in the Club World Cup anyway. So far, it's Seattle and a bunch of Mexican clubs. Yeah, I mean the Supporter Shield's it's recognized, but it's not recognized as the winner of the league. It's recognized as just the you get the first home field advantage in the playoffs. But I mean, you do get a Champions League automatic qualification, but that's about it. Ooh, that looked was that a foul? Yeah, I think that might have been a foul on Dorsey. I think that might have been a foul that they missed. I think they might review it. I mean that wasn't even there was no ball, like the ball was passed. I think they need to review that. Time for Yoshida to be waived. He is not him. I don't know. Yoshida, they definitely need to review that foul on him. That was definitely a foul on Paintsel by Dorsey. I think that Yoshida has his moments. Oh, Paintsel just got a yellow. He's fighting. He's telling him to go. He's telling him to go do the VAR on it. He's telling him to go look at the VAR. The Supporter Shield is like the President's Trophy in hockey. Then, yeah. No, it's not. It's 3 Liga MX teams and 2 MLS teams. I think it might be 4 though. I think it might be 4. Dallas up. So we got to update the scores right now. Minnesota United still up 1-0 on St. Louis City SC. RSL and Vancouver tied 0-0. Seattle up 1-0 on Portland. Houston Dynamo up 1-0 on the LA Galaxy. Austin and Colorado tied at 1-1. FC Dallas up 2-0 on Sporting Kansas City. And San Jose is still up on LAFC 1-0. Still a lot of time left to be played here. 35 minutes plus stoppage time. Or extra time. Or stoppage. Yeah, stoppage time. The refs suck, David says, for the Houston Galaxy game. DeMar says, after tonight, will this be the best decision day in MLS history? In my opinion, it blows away last year. I don't think it's even close, man. I don't think it's even close. I don't think it's even close. I think that this is definitely the best decision day I've ever watched. I think it's been a very exciting day. Jesus says goal from Carlos Vela. I'm not seeing that. I don't even think Carlos Vela is playing right now. I guess you can say the Dynamo paid Rosendo Mendoza oil money tonight. I don't know about that. So since decision day is over, obviously after today, I'm wondering if there will be any more firings. I asked Fabi this earlier. I just don't know how like Peter Vermees keeps a job. I know I've mentioned that numerous times, but he's just such a bum. 15 years, 1 MLS Cup, second worst team in the Western Conference this year. I just don't know how you keep him. What's the upside? Message is lost. He's got every title in the book for the club. I think it's time to move on. I think they need to go in a new direction, new voice, and to see what happens. What's life after Peter Vermees? And Peter Vermees isn't even as good as Bruce Arena. Like Bruce Arena won like multiple MLS Cups everywhere he went, minus the Revs, but he got forced out a little too early. So I just don't understand why there's so much allegiance to Peter Vermees when he's not done anything in a while. Carlos Vela isn't even on the field yet. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not even playing yet. Peter has to go, coming from a Sporting KC fan. Oh, so you are a Sporting KC fan. Yeah, man. Like, what are they doing? 15 years, one MLS Cup. He's got every title in the book. CEO, president, GM, CFO, whatever it is. I mean, he's got every title, and he's got one MLS Cup, and he's just, they said that they were going to spend, and they did a couple years ago. They got Alan Pulido. They spent $9 million on him, and it never really translated into much. They haven't really adapted to the current MLS model. And it's just sad because, the team was very competitive for a long time, and they're just falling behind. Their model is very, very outdated. Do you think there is going to be a playoff between MLS Cup champion and the Supporter Shield champion to see who represents the U.S. in the next FIFA World Cup? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know. We don't really know how they're deciding who goes to the Club World Cup. They might just do the Supporter Shield or the League's Cup winner if it's an MLS winner. They gave an extension through 2027 1 year ago. Yeah, that was a mistake. They should have done that. But I would still fire him. Who cares? Even if they did give him an extension, I would still fire him because he's that bad. Why has Gianni Infantino at Inter Miami game? Why was Gianni? Has he ever been to an MLS game? I think he was there because of the Club World Cup. I think he was there because they were announcing that they were going to make the Club World Cup. Chris Jane says, cheers, guys. Love the channel. Chris, appreciate the support, my friend. Guys, make sure you like this video down below if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel. Super close, getting closer and closer each day to the 5,000 subscribers. Couldn't do it without you guys. Really appreciate your support. And share with a friend. Let's grow the audience as much as we can tonight. Been two good. This is our second stream of the night. We had the Eastern Conference stream. Now we get the Western Conference stream. It's been a great night. We're already almost 4 hours of streaming so far tonight. So I appreciate it. It's been good company with you guys to watch this MLS decision day. They already decided. FIFA announced it. Yeah, but I think they still wanted to see it because they were going to announce it, in person and be there for the game. I think Jorge Mas invited him to the match. Now I'm listening to Joe Totino and Dave Denholm side by side while watching the stream. Decision day is amazing. Can't get enough of it, man. Ooh, Houston Dynamo are threatening again. Gabriel Peck in open space on the right flank. His pace is crazy. I don't think Ricky Pooge has really done much tonight either. I think he's been kind of disappointing, honestly. I don't know if you guys are even watching this game, this Galaxy Houston Dynamo game, but I feel like he's kind of been MIA tonight. Do you think Messi next year will break the Vela score record? Yeah, there's no international tournaments I can think of, so I think he's got a chance. And he would have smashed the record this year if he had played all the games. He only played 19 games. He only started 16 games. So, yeah, I think that if he can play at least like 30 games next year, I think he's got a good chance at breaking the record. I like the MLS playoffs, and they aren't like Europe. Are you American? Are you just saying like you just like MLS playoffs, or do you prefer European soccer? Luke says Galaxy has been disappointing overall so far. Yeah, they have. They've been very lethargic, and they just haven't played with any urgency. I know this sounds crazy, but the Galaxy should sign Sewell. Their defense isn't that good, and he would pair good with Royce. Yeah, maybe. They got a thing for older defenders. Canucks guy says Vancouver goal. Let's check this out real quick. Refresh the page. Vancouver has scored against RSL. They're up 1-0. We will check the MLS standings to see where they currently place with that goal. If the playoffs were to, or the decision day would end right now. So with that goal, Vancouver would move ahead of Colorado as it stands to be actually no, let's see, they would be 2 points behind still. Okay, so they need Colorado to lose in order to move up to the 7th seed and not play in the play-in match. Oh, Marco Roy scores. Did he score? Who scored for LA Galaxy? I missed it. I was checking out the standings. Was it Puig? No, they didn't score at all. Okay, never mind. Joveljic. I looked like they'd scored. False alarm. Nobody scored. Honestly, if LAFC blow this with the Galaxy losing too, I don't know. It'd be a travesty. Like, to know that Galaxy lost, you had a chance to pass them up, and you didn't capitalize. Infantino just announced Miami is in the Club World Cup, and MLS Reddit is in shambles. They're crying over the crying over there is so sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think they're just mad because there's not like any transparency about the selection. DeMar says the Hunt family are on that side of the owners who doesn't like to spend. Keep in mind, they didn't even want to pay for the lease for the Chiefs Stadium here in Kansas City. Yeah, but I will say this, DeMar, they did spend quite a bit this offseason with FC Dallas. Peter Musa, I mean, he cost like $12 million, $11 million this year. So I think Dallas are starting to spend more than they traditionally do. LAFC have scored and equalized the game against San Jose. It is 1-1 in the 65th minute. LAFC equalized. It's going to be interesting. It looks like Denis Bouanga scores for LAFC. They need another goal. And let me look at this and see. Yeah, so they need another goal. They need one more goal to not only beat the Galaxy, but I think... Actually, I'm sorry. They need 2 more goals because the Galaxy has 68 goals. They need 2 more goals to be the Western Conference champions. They need 2 more goals. Who do you got winning the cup this year, Canucks guy? I would say Miami, just because I don't know if you watched the Miami match, but they were down 2-0 and they ended up winning 6-2. So I just think that they're very good at, even when they're down and there's a deficit, coming back and winning. I got the Galaxies, or I'm sorry, the Miami is the favorite. My second favorite team would probably be the Galaxy right now, even though they're playing like ass right now, to be honest with you. This means Vela could retire this year. Vela's condition was to play next year Club World Cup. Vela will retire depending on MLS Cup result. I think he meant results. Maybe. Sargent says Miami will win the cup this year. Yes, I agree 100%. Ooh, Joveljic close to deflection. David the Yapper says, damn it, Galaxy, don't sell like this. Keyshawn, Giroux is not a fit. These wingers are too inverted. Yeah, that's the problem. It's hard to cross when you got 2 inverted wingers. You got to have right winger, right-footed, left winger, left-footed. That's the way to get those crosses in, and they just don't have that. So it's going to be hard for Giroux to really thrive. Check on the scores of their games. Looks like it's the same. Yeah, see, another thing too, I was telling Nick when he was on here, you don't want your team to struggle going into the playoffs, right? You want to go on the high note. You don't want to limp into the playoffs and lose to a bad team, because that's bad for morale. It's bad for the momentum. So the way now Houston is a good team. I'm not saying they're bad, but but LA Galaxy are playing bad. This is a bad way to head into the playoffs. Griezmann has to come and be that playmaker. Yeah, I agree. Sleepers for the East and the West. I think that okay, we'll start with the Western Conference because it's where obviously this is the Western Conference decision day stream. Two teams that I think could be sleeper teams in the Western Conference playoffs. I think Colorado, who will play LAFC in the first round, could be that team to knock them out. I really believe that. I think they could be a team that can knock LAFC out in the first round. It's a bad matchup for them, in my opinion. So that's one of my sleeper picks. My Eastern Conference sleeper pick, I think it would be Charlotte because they're defensively so sound. Like Kalina, if you haven't watched him, is just an incredible goalkeeper. Very, very good goalkeeper. And I think that when you have a solid defense in MLS, you have a chance against anyone. So I think that I would say that Charlotte is probably my my sleeper pick in the Eastern Conference. And on top of that, Charlotte has conceded the least amount of goals in the league. They've only conceded 37 goals this year. They are defensively really sound, and I think that Dean Smith is a great man, like a very, very good manager. Very good manager. Mister says Giroud will fit in better once Griezmann joins, and if they get a motivated Pogba in the middle too, they could be special. Yeah, they really could be. I don't know if all that's going to happen, but if they did get that, if they were able to get Griezmann and Pogba, it would help out significantly. Could be a special West Coast version of what we've seen in Miami. Do you think Seattle is ready for the Club World Cup? No, I don't. I think that they're going to struggle like they did in 2023. I could see them losing to a pretty bad Asian team or, whoever they play. I think they're going to struggle personally. I don't think they're gonna do well, honestly. I think they're gonna struggle mightily because they normally struggle at the beginning of the year anyway. And I know that it's in the summer, but that's still not that far into the MLS season. I think they're in trouble. How will San Diego do next season? San Diego signed what's his name? Mikey Vargas, I think. Is that the manager's name? Mikey Vargas. Okay. I think that he will be. It's up in the air right now how he will be as a manager. They signed Chucky, obviously, Lozano, and they haven't signed anybody else in the other DPs. So they have a lot of building still left to do. And the problem is it's already October. So I think that there's definitely some concerns, and it's hard to really thrive in. It's really hard to thrive in Major League Soccer as an expansion team, even though we've seen more of them. We've seen more teams play well right out of the gate the last couple years, but they're gonna have to add. They're gonna have to add some more pieces. Chucky Lozano is not going to cut it by himself. They're gonna have to get a couple more prominent pieces. They need a striker. They need a midfielder. I mean, there's some stuff that they're gonna have to address, and they don't have a lot of time to do it. Now the expansion draft is soon too. We'll see what happens with that and see who they can get. They should have spent money on that roster. Are you talking about Seattle? DeMar says, will there be a Leagues Cup next year during the summer? If so, how would that work with the Club World Cup and Gold Cup? I'm not sure if they will. They haven't announced like if they're going to do that or if it's going to be the same format. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do take a break from it, which would be much appreciated. I don't want to see it again. Or they do a shortened version of it, like maybe less teams. I mean, I've seen enough of that. 2 years in a row is too much for me. I don't need to see it again. Personally, I don't want to see it a third year in a row. I want a break. New York City FC needs big name players. Hey, that will happen soon. When that stadium is officially built in 2027, I think that's when they're really going to start ramping things up and start getting those big names again. Personally, that's what I think. Don't get rid of Leagues Cup, but I think it needs a break. Yeah, I just think it needs to be every 3 or 4 years. It doesn't need to be every year. It's too much. It's way too much. Takes the specialty out of it. I said this before. The World Cup is beautiful, right? But if the World Cup happened every single year, it wouldn't be as special. It's more special because it only happens every 4 years. They should make the Leagues Cup every 2 years. I mean, I would take that. I would take that over every 4 years, and I think they need to make it to where it's rotated every 2 years between Mexico and the United States. That way, it is a little. So it's played in the United States every 4 years. I think that would make it more special. Is Minnesota saving Pookie for playoffs? Yes, I think so. I think so. Being cautious with them. Agree with the Leagues Cup take. The Mexican teams think it's a joke. Yeah, they have. They do think it's a joke. Last year they took it serious. Then they're like, man, this sucks. Why do I want to? I mean, the travel is brutal. The amount of time is brutal. It's not worth it. Monterrey fired their coach after getting knocked out. Yeah, but he was on the hot seat anyway. Like he was already, there was already pressure to get rid of him after that anyway. So I don't think that. I think the Leagues Cup was just kind of like the final nail. I don't think that was the reason why. The only reason why. What would fix the Leagues Cup what would fix the Leagues Cup is added Brazilian domestic league and Argentina league. This could be our Champions League. Yeah. I hope something like that happens one day, because if we ever want to truly compete with UEFA in the Champions League, I know people are going to say that's never going to happen, but they had to start somewhere too, and we need to have as many good leagues in one Champions League as we can. Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, and the United States need to collab, and they need to try to build a Champions League, because that's the only way it's ever going to happen. LAFC score again, 2-1 up on San Jose. They need one more goal to be the Western Conference champions. One more goal. Also, Portland ties it up with Seattle 1-1, and Seattle has a red card. Minnesota United up 2-1 on St. Louis City SC. RSL pulls one back. It's 1-1 versus Vancouver. 1-1 RSL and Vancouver. And then FC Dallas 2-0 over Sporting Kansas City. Incredible comeback from LAFC. Yes. Yeah. I mean, they got one more goal. They have to score one more goal in order to be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. But I agree that MLS's weird obsession of waiting to be better than Liga MX needs to stop. Yeah, they need to stop even thinking about Liga MX. They need to be thinking about England and Italy and Spain. They need to start chasing those teams and stop worrying about Liga MX. Diogo says impossible. What's impossible? To make the Leagues Cup better, how about let the Mexican teams host? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it should be every 2 years and host, and they should rotate. So this time it's Mexico, and next time is the United States. Next goal between San Jose, LA, LAFC, and Houston should determine the Western number 1 seed. Yep. As it stands right now, LAFC need 1 goal to pass the Galaxy up in the Western Conference standings. Need one more goal. MLS needs a better defense and a better coaching to compete with the bigger leagues. Yeah, the coaching's bad. Defense is, that's a spending issue, but the coaching definitely needs to improve. I said earlier, I said this in the the Eastern Conference stream, that half the coaches in MLS aren't qualified to coach in Major League Soccer. They're not qualified to coach in AYSO. Join South American teams in any competition in North America or vice versa. Why is that impossible? You know what makes it possible? Do you know? Money. That's what makes it possible. And it would sell a lot. It'd be crazy. That would be a huge selling point that people would want to see. The hype and excitement from Dave Denholm combined with the worry and despair from Joe Dottino, this is decision day. Yeah. It's what makes it special. They would love to have Miami and Copa Libertadores. Yeah, they would. Especially with Messi, right? And Suarez. I don't think FIFA would allow it for North American teams to join South American competition. I don't think that matters. They've done it already. Liga MX teams used to compete in Copa Libertadores. I mean, they're going to play La Liga and Premier League matches in America. Regular season matches. I don't think they care. It's all about the money. I don't think that's really a driving force anymore. I'm probably going to make my playoff video either tomorrow. I might release it tomorrow, but I might release it Monday. I haven't really decided. Just to let you guys know, I've been talking with Mike McGee. I'm going to do a video with him soon, talking about the league and his MVP season. I'm supposed to record something with him on Monday, so that should be fun. But I think I'm not sure if I want to do a video tomorrow or Monday. I think I'm going to release my playoff video on Monday at 6 p.m. That's been my new release date, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Got to get that out quickly though, because the play-in starts on the play-in games start on Wednesday, so I got to get that out soon. The Galaxy run the risk of pulling off an Arsenal special in terms of the Western Conference race. Yep. They do for sure. If LAFC can pull one back and the Galaxy don't score, at least draw this or tie this game up. Diogo says Brazilian teams already complain of the schedule as it is today. I don't think money is what would move the needle. Yeah, but you're not. Just trust me on this. I'm telling you, they will find a way to make it work. I know their schedule is already brutal, but something would happen toward this. They can make it work. I mean, Liga MX teams, Brazilian league teams, Argentinian league teams, and MLS teams all together is going to make so much money. So much money. DeMar says, Mourinho, I disagree. It's very likely to happen in the near future. USA and South America will need to follow the same schedule, though. March through October could still work. Yeah, we got to get rid of this schedule. March through October is abysmal. That's too little of a schedule, especially with the breaks they take. It needs to be on the Euro calendar, honestly. MLS teams and Copa Libertadores would be great. It would be. I mean, that's how you make these teams better. Actually play on the road. Play better teams. Mr. says, I agree. They need to stop thinking about Mexico Liga MX, that it isn't that good. Like you said, aim for the big European leagues. If MLS can't get top 5, it can potentially get to the Eredivisie level. Mr. You've been watching the show a long time. I would love for the MLS to get to the Eredivisie level. If our best team was on the at the quality of like an Ajax, a Feyenoord, or a PSV, I'd take that all day. I would take that all day. That's a fun league to watch. I would take that quality all day long. I would love to be the quality of Eredivisie or even the Portuguese league. Sign me up. That's a good, respectable quality league. I don't think it's likely, just my opinion. We'll see what happens. I'm telling you, money talks. I think post World Cup is when North America clubs need to enter Copa Libertadores. I don't know if they're going to enter Copa Libertadores, but I think that they can merge to make their own Champions League to evolve, because Copa Libertadores teams want to compete with the UEFA teams. They want to. There's only one way to do that, is to add Mexico and the US, MLS, and Liga MX. Now, look, the Brazilian league, the Argentinian league are better, but I know, and I think you guys would know, you would agree too, that Liga MX and MLS teams, like the best teams, are better than the Ecuadorian teams or the Colombian teams or the Uruguayan clubs. Like, they have more money, right? They're not. I'm not saying that they're just way better. I'm just talking about the Champions League level teams. So if you add those teams to the equation, it's just going to enhance the competition even more. Iron sharpens iron. Like, you want your best teams facing other good teams. It's going to make it better. Imagine Inter Miami or LA Galaxy playing a Palmeiras or a River Plate. That would be incredible. I think MLS is close, if not better, than most Scottish Premier League teams. Yeah, MLS is better than the Scottish Premier League. It is. It is. I think Celtic and Rangers are overrated. I think it is better, honestly. Me personally, I think it's better. Brazil is considered the sixth best league in the world. I would take the Brasileiro quality over Portugal or Eredivisie. It's close. There's an argument. I think they're all very close. I think they're all very, very close. I think the Portuguese league and the Brazilian league are better top to bottom than the Eredivisie, but the Eredivisie's big three are really, really good. Really, really good. Oh, yeah, Mr. Krabs says MLS does March through October is so they don't compete with NFL and NBA or NHL seasons are ending. Mr. Krabs, you walked into the trap. Let me ask you this then, okay? MLS is about to enter the most important part of their season, right? They are. MLS playoffs is the most important part of their season. What's going on right now? What's happening right now? NFL, college football, NBA starting back up, MLB is on, and NHL is back on. So they are competing with them, and they're competing with them in their most important seasons. We're watching MLS Decision Day right now. Us right now is on a stream, and college football is on right now. Georgia's playing Texas. Like, there's big games on right now. So they are competing with those leagues, and they're doing it in the most important season or part of their season. I would rather it be in March or in April or May, when the only thing they're competing with is basketball and hockey. Now they're competing with all of them. Liga MX used to be part of Libertadores. Travel were brutal for both sides. I think that's what made Mexico leave Libertadores, among other things. Yeah, and it's also because I think they played most of their games on the road. Maybe I could be wrong about that. But I think if they had MLS as a partner as well, it could make things a little better. LA Galaxy have 3 minutes plus stoppage time to try to pull a goal back to make sure that they are the first seed in the Western Conference. LAFC still up 2-1, 88th minute. Might be a little struggle for them to score. Minnesota United just blown the doors off of St. Louis City SC. What a disaster. 4-1 Minnesota versus St. Louis City SC. RSL up 2-1 on Vancouver now. Able to pull one back on that. So I think RSL will be the third seed, and Seattle will slip back down to the fourth seed. The Russian league is better than MLS. Somehow aren't they shut down because of, you know what? Yeah, I think they are. I don't know the parameters of all that, but yes, I don't think that they're definitely not competing in UEFA Champions League anymore. MLS is better than the Scottish league. Apart from Celtic and Rangers, it's not even a bunch of mid. It's not even a good league to watch. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that league is essentially constructed, Mr. for Celtic and Rangers to punch their ticket into a Champions League each year. That's what it's essentially for. That's the way I interpret it, right? They're playing all these scrub ass teams. You think we could? So you know how there's Welsh teams in the Premier League. Do you think we could ever see Celtic or Rangers potentially join the Premier League or join the Championship and try to promote themselves up to the Premier League? I feel like if Celtic and Rangers played in the Premier League, their brands would be amplified even more than they already are, and they'd make more money, and it'd be interesting to see them in the Premier League. I mean, it's technically under the UK umbrella, right? That would be an interesting thing. I don't know if that would ever happen though. What do you want? The main season to have it, no competition, the playoffs to have the competition, or vice versa? I guess depends on what you feel is better product to market. I mean, isn't the playoffs the better market? I mean, the regular season already dies down after the first couple weeks. So you're playing the regular season through this, and then the playoffs is on its own. I think that's the move. I think August to May is the move. You take a break in January, and then you start back up in February, which they already are doing. So it's not like it's not jeopardizing anything. You start the first. This is my schedule. This is what I would do. You start the MLS regular season August 1st. You play till middle of December. You take a break. You start back up in February and to play to the end of March. And then the MLS playoffs is the entire month of May. And then the MLS Cup playoff, or the MLS Cup final, is the first Saturday of June. That's what I would do. That's how I would do it. And I think it would work. August to May would work. Only thing is, MLS would have to restructure the team stadiums that are cold parts, or they could play on the route. They could play on the road in the cold months. I mean, it's only a couple weeks. They could play 4 road games in a row. I don't think it's a big deal. There's 30 teams now, so there's a lot of scheduling that they can do that can make it work. Larry still has it. Save of the week in material. I didn't see it. I'll have to check it out in a little bit. I mean, he's been a great addition to the LAFC this year. Still. 7 minutes of added time to the LA Galaxy Houston Dynamo game. I don't know what it's taken into account, but the Russian league is ranked 12th in the world. I think they had some trouble getting some players recently, like you said, unfortunate events. We're getting into the big money minutes now. The really fun stuff. Yes, I agree. It's going to be interesting to do my playoff bracket tomorrow. See what, pick who's going to finish where, and upsets. And even though I've told you guys who I think is going to win the MLS Cup, but how they get there is it's going to be interesting. Five minutes of stoppage time at BMO Stadium for LAFC and San Jose. Oh, LAFC score 3-1. LAFC has scored. They are the Western Conference champions as things stand right now. Who scored the goal for them? Who scored the goal for LAFC? What a choke job. Wow. They have done the unthinkable. Wow. LAFC scored 3 goals unanswered on San Jose. Oh my God. What an utter collapse by the LA Galaxy. They need to be able to pull one back in the next 5 minutes in order to be in order to keep their spot at the top of the Western Conference. What an utter disaster. Wow. Wow. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and make this proclamation. Greatest decision day in MLS history. Greatest decision day in MLS history. It's not even close. It's not even close. Comeback complete. I cannot believe LA Galaxy choked this bad. Utter collapse. LAFC versus Miami final. Iron says, do you still think Peck is getting newcomer of the year, or do you think Suarez edges it out after tonight? Man, I mean, it's not sitting well, right? I mean, this is going to be the last thing that we've seen of Peck, and he didn't get to. He didn't score a goal to really to when the team really needed him to, and then Suarez scores a brace and elevate his team to be able to break that record before Messi came in. So yeah, I mean, I think that Peck has definitely hurt his stock tonight. Wow. Oh, they're doing a video review to check on the Peck foul, see if it was a foul inside the box. So it's outside the box. Yeah, that looks like a clear foul to me, but it's outside the box. No, he didn't get the ball. It's definitely a foul on Artur. Okay, we have two matches officially finished of decision day. Minnesota United beat St. Louis City SC 4-1. That game is official. FC Dallas beat Sporting Kansas City 2-1. We still have 5 matches still going on right now to decide what the playoff positioning is going to be, what the seeds are going to be for. Penalty. Wow. Penalty for an. Oh my God. LA Galaxy get a penalty? Wow. If LA Galaxy score this penalty, they're the Western Conference champions. Wow, guys. Decision day's crazy. Decision day is crazy. Gabriel Peck to seal his newcomer of the year award, to put the LA Galaxy back on the top. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Top of the Western Conference. Here we go. Gabriel Peck to put the LA Galaxy at the top of the Western Conference. Let's see what happens. Can Clark save it? Here we go. He converts. Gabriel Peck scores. LA Galaxy are the Western Conference champions. What a comeback. What a comeback. What a comeback. Wow. 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 That's crazy. Last minute. Gabriel Peck, newcomer of the year, right? As the Galaxy continues to be this inconsistent, do you think they make the final? Yeah, I think yes. I'll tell you why. They get home field advantage throughout the playoffs now. LA Galaxy haven't lost a match at home this year. Yes. Wow. Crazy. Wow. Well, we're past the 7 minutes of added time. We'll see how much later the ref continues the game. But as it stands, LA Galaxy are the winners of the Western Conference, number 1 seed, undefeated at home. Western Conference playoff goes through Dignity Health Sports Park. After this match, we'll go by what the matchups will be in the first week, and then we'll end the stream. When it's official, we will go over the matchups in the playoffs for the Western Conference. We're 2 minutes past the added time, 99th minute. There's probably 2 minutes in that VAR to check and see if it was a penalty. We're in the 99th minute right now. Let's see. Okay. LAFC San Jose officially over. It's 3-1 LAFC. Austin FC beat Colorado 3-2. Portland, Seattle ends in a draw 1-1. The only 2 matches left is RSL in Vancouver, Houston Dynamo, and LA Galaxy. Galaxy are vulnerable to a cup set in the playoffs. They cannot play like they did tonight against Houston. Portland had LA's numbers in the past, and I have them winning in the play-in. So what is your predicted final? LA Galaxy and... Oh, my God! The 99th minute! Oh, my God! Wow! Dynamo in the 100th minute! LAFC are your Western Conference champions. Decision day is crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Daniel Steres for the winner. Daniel Steres. Oh my God. Best decision day all time. Best MLS decision day of all time. And it's not even close. I'm going to sleep good tonight. Wow. Daniel Steres to kill his former club. Their chances of being the first seed in the Western Conference. Decision day has been amazing to watch. David Day says, LOL. That's the full time. LAFC are your Western Conference. Your Western Conference first seed team. Let's real quick before we get off the stream. Let's look at the standings and look at the matchups. Okay. So Portland and Vancouver will play in the first round. Okay. Let's refresh this real quick just to make sure. Portland and Vancouver will play in the play-in match. The winner of that match will play LAFC in the first round. LA Galaxy will play Colorado in the first round. Minnesota will play RSL in the first round. And then Seattle will play Houston in the first round matchup of the MLS Cup playoffs. What a great day, guys. What a great day. enjoyed this very much. I'm going to be making, are you going to make a playoff prediction video? I am. I'm going to release it Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't want to release tomorrow. I'm not trying to compete with NFL or anything like that. But yes, I will be. I'll be dropping an MLS Cup playoff prediction video on Monday. So look out for that. I appreciate both streams. Crazy decision day, guys. Crazy decision day. Craziest decision day I've ever seen. Love all you guys. Appreciate the support. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Be on the lookout for my playoff prediction. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.